G'day, mates. Let's have a good yarn about some of the most important animals on our beautiful planet. The apex predators. These are the top dogs, the kings and queens of their wild homes. They sit right at the top of the food chain, and crikey, they've got a massive job to do. Think of big, powerful hunters like saltwater crocodiles, or those majestic eagles soaring high above. They aren't just out there looking for a feed. They're the ultimate managers of the bush and the billabongs. They keep everything in perfect balance, making sure no single group of animals gets too big for its boots. They are nature's guardians, and they do their job better than anyone. Now, you might think these predators are just mean machines, but that's not the whole story, not by a long shot. They are a critical part of a healthy ecosystem. An ecosystem is like a giant, intricate puzzle, and if you take out a big piece, like an apex predator, the whole picture starts to fall apart. These animals are incredibly smart and powerful, and they've evolved over millions of years to be the best at what they do. Their role is to keep the populations of other animals in check. This means they often target the weak, the old, or the sick, which helps keep the gene pool of their prey animals strong and healthy. What a clever design! We're talking about a natural system of pest control that's been working perfectly since the dawn of time. Forget chemicals and traps. Mother Nature has her own team of experts. When you have healthy populations of apex predators, you have a healthy environment. They stop smaller animals from overgrazing and destroying plants, which in turn protects the soil and waterways. They prevent the spread of disease by removing sick animals quickly. It's a beautiful, interconnected web of life, and these predators are the master weavers holding it all together. They are the true heroes of the wild, working tirelessly behind the scenes for the good of every living thing. So, when we see a massive salty sunning itself on a riverbank or a magnificent eagle perched high in a tree, we need to show some respect. These animals are doing us a huge favor. They are the gardeners of the wild, pruning and shaping the animal kingdom to keep it vibrant and strong. They are a sign that the environment is in top-notch condition. By understanding their job, we can start to appreciate just how vital they are. They're not just surviving, they're helping everything else around them thrive. What absolute legends! Let's dive in and see exactly how these champions get the job done. Right, let's talk about one of my absolute favorites, the crocodile. Specifically, let's look at the mighty saltwater croc and its cousin, the Siamese crocodile. These fellas are living dinosaurs, and they are the undisputed kings of the waterways. Their job as apex predators is absolutely crucial, especially when it comes to dealing with pesky invasive species. Invasive animals are creatures that don't belong in a certain place, and they can cause a whole lot of strife. They eat up all the food, push out the local native animals, and throw the whole system out of whack. It's a real mess, I tell you. But then, along comes a big, beautiful croc. Crocodiles are not fussy eaters, which makes them brilliant at pest control. Take invasive fish, for example. In many parts of the world, introduced fish like carp or tilapia breed like crazy and destroy the habitat for native fish. But a hungry crocodile sees them as an easy snack. They'll munch on these newcomers, helping to keep their numbers down and giving the local fish a fighting chance to survive. The crocs are the river's cleanup crew, and they're not afraid to get their teeth dirty to get the job done. They are true blue heroes of the water. It's not just fish either. Crocs are also fantastic at controlling invasive mammals that come down to the water's edge for a drink. Animals like feral pigs or cats, which cause enormous damage to the environment, become a potential meal for a patient crocodile. A big salty lurking just below the surface is the ultimate deterrent. It helps protect the riverbanks from being torn up by feral animals and keeps the local wildlife safe from these intruders. Without the crocs on patrol, these invasive pests would have a free-for-all, and the delicate balance of the river ecosystem would be an absolute goner. So, you see, a river with a healthy population of crocodiles is a healthy river. They are the guardians, the protectors of their domain. They maintain the natural order by removing animals that don't belong and keeping other populations from exploding. When you protect crocodiles, you're not just saving one animal. You're protecting the entire community of plants and animals that depend on that waterway. They are a living, breathing indicator of a thriving environment. What a magnificent and powerful force for good they are. Absolutely stunning. Now let's lift our eyes from the water to the skies. Up there, we've got another team of brilliant apex predators, the raptors. I'm talking about magnificent birds like the crested serpent eagle, the powerful white-bellied sea eagle, and the adaptable changeable hawk eagle. These birds are the masters of the air, with eyesight so sharp they could spot a rat from a mile away. Just like the crocs in the water, these eagles have a super important job. They are the skyborne pest controllers, keeping a whole range of smaller critters in check and maintaining balance on the ground below. They are the silent hunters watching over the land. Think about some of the common pests that can cause big problems for both people and nature. Bullfrogs, for instance, are an invasive species in many places. They're big, they're greedy, and they'll eat just about any native frog, lizard, or insect they can fit in their mouths, which is a disaster for local wildlife. But for a crested serpent eagle, a juicy bullfrog is a perfect meal. These eagles specialize in hunting reptiles and amphibians, and they are brilliant at keeping bullfrog numbers from getting out of control. It's nature's perfect solution to a very tricky problem. Then you've got rats. We all know what a menace rats can be. They spread disease, they raid our food supplies, and they can devastate populations of native birds by eating their eggs and chicks. But for a changeable hawk eagle or a white-bellied sea eagle, a rat scurrying across a field is an easy target. These powerful hunters swoop down with incredible speed and precision, snatching up these pests before they even know what's hit them. By hunting rats, these eagles provide a free, natural, and highly effective pest control service that helps protect both human health and the local wildlife. These sky warriors don't stop there. They also help manage the populations of other animals, like young or small reptiles and even other birds. This might sound a bit rough, but it's all part of the natural balance. By preying on the most common species, they prevent any single group from becoming too dominant and pushing out others. This creates a healthier, more diverse environment where lots of different species can thrive. The eagles are the great regulators of the sky and the land, ensuring that the intricate web of life remains strong and stable. Aren't they just incredible? So what happens if these top predators disappear? Crikey, it's a scary thought, and the reality is even scarier. When you remove an apex predator from its environment, the whole system can collapse. It's like pulling the main support beam out of a house. The whole thing comes crashing down. Without crocodiles to control them, invasive fish like carp would take over the rivers. They would muddy the waters, eat all the aquatic plants, and outcompete all the beautiful native fish, leading to a murky, lifeless waterway. The balance would be completely shattered, a real tragedy. On land, the story is just as grim. Imagine a world without our raptor mates in the sky. Rat populations would explode. They would swarm through fields and towns, spreading disease and destroying crops. The beautiful songs of native birds would fall silent as rats raid their nests, eating their eggs and chicks. The delicate ecosystems in our forests and grasslands would be overrun. Small reptile populations might also spiral out of control without the eagles to keep them in check. It would be total chaos, with just a few dominant pest species taking over everything. What a mess! We've seen this happen in real life, mates. When predator populations are hunted down or their habitats are destroyed, the consequences are devastating. The animals they used to hunt, known as herbivores or grazers, can multiply without limit. They eat all the vegetation, turning lush forests and grasslands into barren wastelands. This leads to soil erosion, which pollutes the rivers and streams. The whole chain reaction is a disaster, and it all starts with the loss of that one key player at the top. It just goes to show how every single animal has a vital role to play. That's why protecting our apex predators is one of the most important things we can do for our planet. When we save a crocodile or an eagle, we're not just saving a single species, we're saving the entire ecosystem they live in. We're protecting the clean water in our rivers, the health of our forests, and the diversity of all the little critters that live there. These magnificent hunters are a sign of a wild, healthy, and balanced world. They are our partners in conservation, and we need to be their champion, for nature and for ourselves. beauty.